Oh,
Take one more. Well, it'll come along now.
Yeah.
I would say slowly but surely, but it's not moving slowly.
Oh.
And David is.
Yeah, they're going all over. Hope the concrete guys keep track of when it's getting delivered.
Well, sorry, you know, sometimes you get,
I remember everything they told me.
we get complaints about dirt on the track and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, which one do you get?
Which one of them was it? That's right. They ought to just throw in together and rent a sweep.
Yeah, exactly. It's nice when it's been really muddy, you can see where the tracks came from. You're like, well.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
I did.
Get track of that.
I had 50 videos ready.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good up there.
All right. Take a deep breath.
Very good. You're happy for you.
Hi, Dakota.
How are we doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Great.
Good. It's getting close. 6 o'clock. You guys ready?
Yeah, I like that shirt maker.
Let's get moving. All right, we will go ahead and call a city council business meeting to order. This is Thursday, October 5th, 2023, 6 p.m. Lindsay, would you call the roll?
Councilmember Lester,
Here.
Baker,
Here.
Reba, Cool,
Yeah.
Livingston, Mayor Tom Phillips.
I'm here. We do have quorum, so we will move on. Item number 2 is the Pledge of Allegiance. Would you please rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance with? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic for which it stands, one nation. All right, item number 3 is approval of the agenda. Would anybody like to move any of the consent agenda items to the regular agenda? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Reva, seconded by Cool. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same. Motion carries. Item number 4 is welcome of guests and public comment. Thank you all for being here at our meeting tonight. We open up the dais at this point in time. If you want to address the council for a non-agenda item, now would be the time. Realize we can't take action on those items on anything tonight, since they aren't on the agenda. Also, if you'd like to comment on any item in the consent agenda, now would be the time. So anybody want to address council? Hearing none, we will move on. Item 5 is the consent agenda. Tonight, it's very short, thank goodness. It's expenditures, we have tax abatements. Now we have approval of the September 21st, 2023 minutes of the regular city council meeting. I have approval of the fiscal year 23 annual financial report. And we have resolution approving starting wage for newly hired full-time firefighter EMS provider Nathan Spur. Can I get a motion?
Second.
Okay, motion by Reva, seconded by Cool. Lindsay, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Lester,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Reba. Yes. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, motion carries. Item 6, we have old and new business for consideration, discussion, and possible action. Item A is a public hearing regarding the Elm Avenue Sidewalk Project. We'll open up the public hearing at 6:02 p.m. So the purpose of this hearing is to get public input on this project. Who do we have to explain? Dakota, you gonna explain it? Or do we have?
We have Justin here too.
All right.
Trying to hide in the back.
He's hiding in the back.
Yeah.
Justin Ernst Bolton make. This project is the sidewalk project between on Elm Avenue. All on be just west of 28, Highway 28, and between Highway 28 and the school on the north side, and then both sides on the west side to connect the two missing gaps there. And that this project also includes the installation of a hawk system crossing Highway 28 for pedestrian access. We also have replacing a couple other head ramps there on Pine and Elm, just bring them up to 88 standards. we got good bids to allow that and yes, so that's kind of the overview of the project.
And I've got a couple of videos. I think there might be some questions on the Hawk system, but when you need that, I can show those videos.
Lindsay, have we received any oral or written comments on this?
We have not.
Okay, so do we have any public comment? I do have a little bit that I want to say about it as a citizen. I'm gonna object to building the sidewalk. We had a similar situation actually on Elm Street a few years ago where sidewalk is pretty close to the street. It was a hardship on the residents because after they cleared their sidewalk, snow plows would come on by and pack it all back in with ice and packed snow, which is heavy and difficult to remove. At that time, council discussed passing an ordinance even to change for this one section of sidewalk to not have to have the resident remove the snow. It was decided to remove the sidewalk instead. So if council passes this one section of sidewalk, I got a question, what other sections of sidewalk come close to the same conditions in the city, and why not exempt them from clearing their sidewalk? We can't just say that Park and Rec's going to clear this section. If they clear this section, why not other sections with similar circumstances? Again, plus as much as we like Robin and Dakota to be working here 100 years from now, the next director might look at the ordinance and decide not to clear that section. So, I had a safety concern about creating crosswalk across Highway 28 where cars are going 40 plus miles per hour. But I think this Hawk system that they're going to put in is a good way to kind of signalize that intersection without really putting full signalization in. That makes sense. Anybody else have any comments? Public comment?
How will not doing that section, just asking, affect the crosswalk in the route that we're looking at here? Will it have any effect on it?
Of the sidewalk?
There won't be a connection.
There wouldn't be a connection then.
Okay.
And just kind of a design as why it's so close. We try to stay off private property on that section. The grade drops off so much there that we try to make a more maintainable, mowable slope back down to there. There's also a large tree there in the corner that we also are not removing. So,
Right. It's not just a little slope, it's a big slope.
yes, very much so.
It's pretty
Yep.
steep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those are a difficult spot for the rest of it, any 5 to 6 to 7 feet off the back of the curb.
Okay. Any other public comment? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing at 6:07 PM. So item 6B is a resolution approving plans, specification, form of contract, and estimate of cost for the Elm Avenue sidewalk project. So we just had a public hearing for this project. And this is the first of 3 resolutions needed to get the project launched. Council passed a resolution to approve the preliminary plan, specs, form of contract, and estimate for the project. This resolution is actually is the final approval for all of those. Anything to add? Dakota or Jeff?
Robin wrote up the little thing. So on the 3 foot, there are some spots around town currently that are 3 foot or less. And she was kind of making the point, like, we haven't received complaints on those as of right now. One of them is actually in City Park along that, and I plow that. And you'll get some snow if, it's super deep on the sidewalk, but the general consensus is that 3 foot, it's not too bad. From what I've seen plowing, it's not covering the sidewalk for the most part, so.
And I think one of the thoughts too is that you're slowing down, so the snow isn't shooting that far. Also wanted to add, we did have a public meeting about this on July 27th. Nobody came. And then the DOT did approve a traffic control device application, so that's a permitted use to the DOT, so the Hawk system is permitted.
Okay.
So.
That was my next question. So.
How'd you do it?
Any discussion or questions, comments from council?
I couldn't find the cost to the residents on this.
It's not an assessment,
Yeah, there's no.
not an assessment.
There is no assessment for this. This is paid for by us. Okay, that's what I wanted to verify.
Yep.
But they are asking for a sidewalk.
This was part of our, I'm sorry, I'm jumping in here. I don't know if you. want to
Sidewalk
answer.
and trails issue.
Yeah, it's part of our Greenways master plan that there are certain sections of sidewalk missing. Higher priorities were areas adjacent to schools, providing that safe routes to school. So this is one of the higher priorities and just kind of next in line for the city to take action.
Any public comment? Take a motion to approve the resolution as presented.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, motion by Rivas, seconded by Cool. Any further discussion? Lindsay, would you call the roll?
Councilmember Baker,
I'm not sure it's needed. No,
Reba,
Yes.
Cool,
Yeah.
Lester.
yes,
Okay, motion carries. Item 6C is a resolution awarding the contract for the Elm Avenue Sidewalk Project. So this is the second of the 3 resolutions needed to start the project. This resolution awards the contract to Vice Construction. Justin, Dakota, anything to add?
No, the bids came in favorable. We had an addendum, or not addendum, but an ad alternate to do those extra ped ramps. Came in with under budget, so we were able to get the ad alternate as well. So
Awesome. Okay, thank you. Any discussion or comments from council? Or public comment? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve the resolution as presented?
Motion.
Second. Motion by Rita, seconded by Cool. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Lindsay, would you call the roll?
Councilmember Reba. Cool,
Yeah.
Lester,
yes,
Baker.
no,
Okay, motion carries. Item 6D is resolution approving contract and bond for the Elm Avenue Sidewalk Project. So this is the third and final resolution needed to get the project rolling. This resolution approves the contract and indicates how the city is going to actually pay Vice Construction for their work. Justin, Dakota, anything else? Any discussion or comments, questions from council? Or public comment? I get a motion to approve the resolution as presented.
Motion.
Motion by Cool, seconded by Reva. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Lindsay, would you call the roll?
Councilmember Cool,
Yes.
Lester,
yes,
Baker,
no,
Reba. Yes.
All right, motion carries. Item 6E is a public hearing regarding the Sunset Drive and Chatham Avenue Improvements Project. So we'll open up the public hearing at 6:12 PM. This project involves placement of traffic signals and lane improvements at Chatham Avenue and Highway 28. With increased traffic at the City State Bank Fieldhouse and Fairway Fields, these improvements will be crucial. So the purpose of the public hearing is to get input on that project. Tony or Wayne, any?
Nothing else?
Okay, Lindsay, have we received any oral or written comments on this?
We have not.
Any public comment? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and close public hearing at 6:12 PM. Item 6F, resolution approving specifications form, plan specifications, form of contract and estimate of cost for the Sunset Drive and Chatham Avenue Improvements Project. So just had a public hearing for the project, and this is the first of 3 resolutions needed to get the project launched. Council passed a resolution that approved the preliminary plan, specs, form of contract and estimate for this project. So this resolution is the final approval for all of those. Wayne, you got anything else for Tony?
So I will add, this is adding a lane on the south side of Chatham. On the west side of the highway, there'll be a dedicated left turn lane when you're heading onto the highway. And then a right turn and through lane, combined joint lane. Initial indications are the contractor wants to start this fall and get the lane widening done. They'll put up a temporary traffic signal with a span wire similar to what we had on North Avenue and on Beardsley Street. The traffic signal equipment, there's a large lead time to get that in. So they'll have get the temporary up and running as soon as they can. A little trail correction, and that's about it.
Thank you. Any discussion, comments from council?
So in their concept of doing that, they're looking at just acquiring and clearing the additional lane, the additional. They won't be tearing out the existing street.
Correct. Yep, they'll remove the curb and gutter, obviously, and then.
All right, so fire and EMS can still access through that interchange throughout this project.
Right, we'll be shutting down the parking lot for public safety, they'll maintain access for emergency vehicles. And then we're also adding in a control for fire in the building to trigger the light when they go out on a call, so they'll have a clearing or a light where they can access the highway.
Good, okay, thank you.
Any other discussion, comments, questions from council or public comment? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve resolution as presented?
Motion,
Second.
Motion by Cool, seconded by Riva. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Lindsay, would you call the roll?
Councilmember Lester,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes,
Riva. Yes. Cool.
yes,
All right, motion carries. Item 6G is a resolution awarding contract for the Sunset Drive and Chatham Avenue Improvements Project. So this is the second of the 3 resolutions needed to start the project. This resolution awards the contract to Vanderpool Construction. Wayne, you got anything?
Just want to add, Vanderpool is a company we've had great luck with, we're happy to see them get the bid.
Great. Any questions, discussion, comments from council? Or any public comment? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve resolution as presented?
motion,
Motion by Cool, seconded by Riva. Any further discussion? Lindsay, would you call roll?
Councilmember Baker,
yes,
Riva. Yes. Cool,
yes,
Lester.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Item 6H is resolution approving contract and bond for this Sunset Drive and Chatham Avenue Improvements Project. So this is the third and final resolution needed to get the project rolling. Resolution approves the contract and indicates how the city is going to pay Vanderpool Construction for their work. Wayne, got anything to add?
Nothing else, sir.
All right, great. Any questions or discussion, council or public comment? Can I get a motion to approve the resolution as presented?
second,
Motion by Rita, seconded by Cool. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Lindsay, would you call roll?
Councilmember Riva. Yes. Cool,
yes,
Lester,
Yes.
Baker.
yes,
All right, motion carries. Item 6I is a public hearing regarding an amendment to the Hughes Century Crossing Plan Unit Development to permit building separations of 10 feet and for total driveway lengths of 20 feet in PUD Parcel C. So we'll open up the public hearing at 6:17 PM. Purpose of the hearing is to get public input on this zoning change. Luke, I'll let you take it.
Sure. So this is a R3 townhome parcel in the Hughes Century Crossing development area. It's bounded by Hughes Century Crossing Plat 2 to the south with some 50, 60-foot wide lots along a cul-de-sac, and then the gas easement that runs through town on the north. So it created kind of a narrow-ish long piece of property in the layouts that Diligent has put together with Bishop Engineering, some townhomes in that area. They laid them out with a 10-foot separation to try to get some units in there, as well as driveways that are 20 feet in length. It's kind of a unique product. I don't know if Tim is here. He can probably talk more about the product. But essentially the exterior are kind of your normal traditional townhomes. And then the interior units have driveways on both sides. So you would kind of pull in to each side of the garage on those central units. And because of that, you've got some weird driveway lengths there that they're wanting to have reduced down to 20 to make work. So That's really the gist of what they're trying to do. Happy to answer any questions from a zoning side, or like I said, I know Tim's here as well.
Is this similar to what we're doing up around the circle up there? And
It's not unheard of for us to have some 10-foot separation on townhomes. I don't recall if the circle has 10-foot separation or not. I can check that real quick.
Tim Portsmouth, Diligent Development. Luke did a great job at describing it, but I'm here to answer any questions that you might have. I think currently the zoning requires a 15-foot separation with side yards.
That's correct.
The single family to the south of us is actually, I think, maybe 10 or 11 foot. So these building separations wouldn't be much different than the single family homes immediately south of it. The driveways, as Luke mentioned, I think the city requires 22-foot driveways. Most of these are 22-foot driveways. They vary between 20 and 22 foot. Part of that is because we're trying to have some undulation in the buildings to create some visual interest in the building. So a lot of that's kind of an architectural move to make it aesthetically more pleasing. We feel that with the driveways being 20 foot, they should still be able to have a car parked in there if need be. Minivan is 17 foot, so you still have a little bit of room there. Additionally, these are all kind of an alley load type product. So we do feel like pedestrians, we're really trying to get them up on that bike trail that's on the gas main or sidewalks that are at the front door. Again, hopeful that reducing the driveway by 2 foot really isn't impacting the pedestrian at all.
So there's single car garage on each side.
Yeah, so it's like Luke said, it's the site's long and narrow. So it's kind of forced us to do a really unique product, which at first was kind of like, oh gosh. But it really turned out to be kind of a neat, something that's different, a product that I don't see commonly in the Des Moines market. That's commonly referred to as more of like a shotgun unit. So you actually have daylight on both ends, on either end of your townhome unit. And then essentially it is a 2-car tandem garage. But if we're able to have garage doors on either side, you can just pull through. So the worst part of a tandem garage is that you have to back out one car to get the other car.
Right.
This solves that issue. And you can literally just pull into your garage and then one can back out or pull through, or they can both pull through. So yeah, it allows it to be a 2-car garage that feels like a single car garage from the pedestrian and from the design aesthetic.
Lindsay, have we received any oral or written comments on this?
We have not.
Are these drives in between? Are those in the private driveway?
Yes. Yep.
And so what's depicted here in the middle, right, going down the middle? Are
Those are those kind of drive-through, for lack of a better term, shotgun units. They're narrow townhome units that are really long, but what that allows is daylight on both sides. So
I'm having trouble picturing it. I'm sorry.
yeah, no, I hear you. Like I said, it's a pretty unique product. I'm not really aware of anything too much like this. I know there's some examples kind of similar, maybe downtown Des Moines, but
you don't have a rendering or anything you can offer this person could look at it.
yeah, I mean, I do. So again, not site plan approval, so still a lot of things in work, and elevations subject to change. That's why we haven't submitted for site plan, because we're still working on the elevations and stuff like that, materials. But I do have, I don't think there's a digital version. Luke, you probably have that. I don't know if it's easy for you to pick up. I did print off a little bit. It's going to be hard for everybody to view. but you can kind of pass around. So that middle that's a pass through is this far left one, far right one.
So each of these units has two garages.
Yeah.
Just. Ones on the
All
outside are more
of the
traditional.
townhome units, yeah, have 2-car garages. It's just instead of side by side, the ones in the middle are back to back. Like a tandem garage, but you get the benefit of being able to pull out both cars at the same time if you want, unlike your kind of historical tandem.
So they're basically 3-story units with a garage underneath.
Mhm.
That sounds kind of similar to what we were doing up there on Mercantile. On the Mercantile Drive. But that said, there's a set of townhomes that are being put in there now.
Marketplace Drive?
Yeah, Marketplace Drive. And the garages are right underneath it, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it looks here, if you want to take a look at it, it looks fairly similar to what is going in there.
Yeah, comparable.
Over in Orchard Hills area.
Yeah, Orchard Hills has that. You'll see these. I hope these look considerably better. We've done our best, but you've seen a lot of these tuck under garage type product. They were historically kind of referred to as Triton townhomes. They did a lot of those. But since then, in our market caliber has kind of come in and redesigned those, refaced those, and they're quite popular and a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. And we've attempted to kind of step that up a notch as well. And then the ones south of town what were they? Reference those, Luke?
Orchard Hills.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to see if I can.
So those are like back-to-back units. So they're a little bit different. It's similar in the sense that they're 3-story with a tuck under garage, but very different in the sense that those are back-to-back. These are entirely pass through. So you only have one, you only have your 2 party walls like you typically would in a townhome. You have a party wall on either side versus the ones
really drive through the garage.
Yeah, yep. Versus the Triton, which essentially 3 sides are party walls, and you've just got that front is the only place where you get
So-
daylight.
What Luke has on the screen there is down in the Orchard View Townhomes, and
Yeah.
so that's a 2-car garage, and then that one person's unit on the blue on the end, right? They just go to the middle, and then there's a white unit behind it. So you can kind of see what one side would look like, and that's kind of what the building would end up looking like. But from a unit perspective, you'd have a 1-car garage door at the front, and so it'd be a little bit narrower, and then that 1-car garage would go all the way through, and so the other side would also have a 1-car garage door.
So you'd have
Parking.
a view out, you'd have a view of the south from like your kitchen and a view of the north from your living room. And then you'd have 2 bedrooms that one faces the north, one faces the south. We basically took something like this, and instead of making them boxy, we made them a rectangle. So that you get the daylight on both sides.
I was just sitting there wondering if my wife would have better luck with that than our garage.
Yeah, you would, in theory, you'd never have to back out.
Anyway.
So I know that they're private driveways there. How wide is that? What I'm looking at is with these units being so close together and so many of them, you can't park a car anywhere but in the garage or the driveway. You do have a couple of guest parking spots. There's like a group of 4 in the middle, and then I see the ones all the way at the end.
Mhm.
But if anybody has company over, out of all these people, you better hope that there's
Yeah,
like they carpool.
yeah, I mean, there's some, like you said, some parking stalls for visitors. I would say, so the ones that have the tandem garage are only 2 bedrooms, so it's not much different. For instance, some of the stuff around the circle that Hubble has done, or the market that Ed mentioned. You know, those are 3-bedroom units with essentially 4 off-street, off-alley parking stalls. These are 2-bedroom with 3. So arguably there's 1 for each bedroom plus an extra in both scenarios.
And it does meet our parking requirements, so, yep.
Good.
Any other public comment? Hearing none, we're going to close the public hearing at 6:29 PM. See, item 6J is first reading of an ordinance amending the official zoning map of the city of Norwalk, Iowa by amending parcel C in the Hughes Century Crossing Plan Unit Development to permit building separations of 10 feet and total driveway lengths of 20 feet. So we just heard about this during public hearing. Luke, anything else to add?
No, sir.
All right, any
Oh,
discussion?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I told Ed I would look into it. The townhomes on Wright Road are 10 feet apart. There's a few of the brownstones are 10 feet apart. And I think a few of those Orchard View townhomes were close. So,
Thank you.
Yep.
All right,
So I have a question. The way that is worded, if we approve this, despite what's the nice picture in front of us here, all the driveways could be 20 feet.
correct.
So could we put in a certain percentage? Could we put in a, reference to this?
We could reference the site. You could say the driveway length shall conform with the exhibit, whatever, and we could put that plan in there as exhibit.
I mean, it's,
What?
I understand it's a preliminary plan, but
Yep.
what I don't want to see is the final plan to come back and have everything be a 20-foot driveway.
Sure. Understood.
That's- Well,
No, I think
It's
you're right.
happened.
You don't think it'd be a little different than what we're.
absolutely. Good
so-
call. So you can do that?
Yeah, we can. We'll have to recraft things a little bit for second reading, but.
Okay.
And we'll get with Tim to make sure he's comfortable with it as well. So.
Awesome. Any other discussion or comments from council or any public comment? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve the first reading as presented? Well, no, as amended.
As amended.
Amended.
As amended.
Make the motion to approve as amended.
I'll second that as amended.
All right, motion by Rita, seconded by Cool. Any further discussion? Lindsay, would you call roll?
Councilmember Cool,
Yes.
Lester,
No.
Baker,
Yes.
Reba.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Item 6K is a resolution approving the site plan of Quick Star. So Quick Star is coming to Norwalk. This resolution approves the site plan for their building. Luke, I'll let you take it from here.
Sure. So the Quick Star site is located at the corner of Highway 28 and Chatham on the east side of the road, southeast corner. Will be across from Fairway and bounded by Hughes Drive on the east. The building's oriented with the pumps for the gas pumps to the north along Chatham. The building sits back behind that. They do have a car wash that's located on the south of the building. The dumpster enclosure kind of sits in the southwest corner. There'll be access out off of Chatham via some a right turn into the site and right turn out, but not full access because of the Chatham median, and then 2 access points out onto Hughes Drive. Parking is conforming to our code. Happy to answer any other questions.
Questions or discussion from council?
When do they give you any indication as to when they're looking at maybe starting this if we get it shepherded through?
I don't know if Holly potentially knows.
Yeah,
Or-
they said that they plan to close on the land by the end of the year and then they would get started in the spring and hopefully be finished by fall of next year.
Okay, because there's a lot of worker bees up there right now in that little area.
Yeah.
That might pay off better if.
We need it sooner.
Yeah, Casey, can you make it happen sooner?
Come on.
So by fall of next year, be done. Yeah, go for it.
Hi, my name is Casey Bonger. I'm a real estate manager for Quick Trip and Quick Star. If it's okay with you, I thought I'd first start off by just giving you a little bit of background about our company, since this will be the first Quick Star in Norwalk. I guess first off, Quick Trip was founded in 1965, with the first store being in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. It was owned by the Zietlow and Hansen families until 2000, when the Zietlow family bought out the Hansen family. It continues to be owned by 4 generations of the Zietlow family today, with over 800 stores in 6 states. We have 3 priorities at Quick Trip and Quick Star. First, unlike other convenience store chains, Quick Trip and Quick Star is vertically integrated. At our La Crosse campus, we have a dairy plant, sweets, bakery, bread and bun bakery, and a kitchen where more than 70% of our offerings in our stores are made. Deliveries are made from our La Crosse campus to each store every day to provide the freshest products to our guests. So we make it, we ship it, and we sell it. Our second priority is food. We aim to offer a great quality, value, and selection at good prices. And last but not least, our people, which includes our coworkers, guests, and community. The Zietlow family believes that if you treat your employees well, they will in turn treat our guests right. That said, the Zietlow family graciously shares 40% of the pre-tax profit each year with all employees. In each of our stores, we aim to provide the best customer service. We receive company newsletters each week, just internally, and in it there are a few pages with guests writing in about how our employees have went above and beyond, which is really neat to read. And then last, community. Once we have a store in a town, we want to be a part of that community and really give back. So hopefully, if all goes as planned, we hope to bring a store to Norwalk and provide great customer service, clean stores, and fresh products at a good value. And yes, hopefully, like I mentioned, if all goes as planned, we hope to start construction next year and hopefully open next year.
Awesome.
Were there any questions on the site plans? I know Luke went over it pretty well, but. Great.
The buzz.
Sorry, I have one question. Apologize. The bike path up along the highway, are you guys installing that, or will that be installed prior to you taking ownership of the land?
The Highway 28 trail is part of the site improvements. So they would be responsible for installing that along with sidewalk, basically on 3 sides of the site. The trail that's on the gas easement is already installed.
So will this be done before the lights at Chatham are done?
Temporary signals will be up. I don't have a lead time on the permanent ones. If I had to guess, it'd be midsummer when the permanent signals get operational.
Because Diligent promised that that sidewalk would be in regardless of development prior to the signals going in.
Head ramps I know are in the intersection. I don't know if I don't know about the requirements of anything else, but I know the intersection has head ramps at all the corners.
I don't recall things about the Highway 28 trail. I know we talked about the gas easement trail.
Gas easement trail.
Casey, is that something you could check into and just see if there's any way to make that a higher priority?
Putting the sidewalks in
That-
first.
Well, the
Just the one up along Highway 28, because, and this gets back to if we're gonna have a signal there and people cross the road to go to the sports complex, it doesn't make sense to not have a bike path there. I mean, that was what Diligent was supposed to have done from the get-go. I mean, I'm surprised they hadn't started doing it already.
I can check into that.
Thank you. Anything else from council or any public comment?
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Cool, seconded by Riva. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Lindsay, would you call the roll?
Councilmember Lester,
Yes.
Baker,
Absolutely.
Reba, Cool.
Certainly. Take that one as a yes. Motion carries. All right. Item 6L is a resolution approving the preliminary plat and site plan of Hughesman addition to Hughes Century Crossing. So this resolution is approved site plan for the Hilton True Hotel and an outlot at that location. Luke, I'll let you take it from here.
Correct. So the first part of this, again, it's a prelim plat and site plan. So there's a prelim plat that shows lot 1 and a lot 2 of the Hughesman area of HH Norwalk property. It is north of Chatham and west of or east of Hughes Drive. So northeast of the Quick Start we just talked about. The hotel site plan is shown on lot 1. It's a 4-story hotel. Parking meets our requirements. It has access. There's an access drive that comes off of Hughes Drive and then an access down onto Chatham. That access does line up with the access to the Norwalk Central Retail that we approved a couple meetings back. So we're making sure we've got good access configuration along there. You may recall that we had the elevations on the council agenda for the last meeting. We decided to pull that off after some discussions with Jim and I. Jim and I both went back and did a full review of our architectural standards and determined that the code states that we can look at the building in its totality to make sure it meets percentages. And so the standard, the building here is 90% class 1 and 2 on the front. And then it's like 72 and 73% on the sides and back. That's what we were running into prior when we brought it forward to you. And so that meets our code requirement as Jim and I have reviewed it. The upper floors also meet the requirement. That was less of a concern. So other than that, happy to answer any questions.
So this meets all of our code requirements.
Yes.
Any other discussion?
How many rooms does this thing have? I don't remember.
Come on up, Brian.
I want to know if I can get my whole family in there.
Brian Hughesman Construction. I know in the previous, it's over the years, we started off with 82 rooms. This actually does have 83 rooms, just how it all worked out due to the first floor. Two rooms on the first floor, and then the remaining 81 rooms are second, third, and fourth. Like Luke said, we have a lot of type 1 and type 2 materials on the front facing Chatham and 28. So I think it'll look really good on the front. And indoor pool is actually on the northwest corner. That top left picture there, all the windows are on the bottom. Indoor pool, and then the outdoor patio is on the back. It's their bottom pictures. So just hopefully get started here really soon, and glad to finally have a site plan and some renderings in front of you guys.
Yeah.
So how soon are you gonna get started?
Well, I'd like to close the land in, before November here, and try to get some dirt work done and go heavy in the spring. So hopefully Quick Star's open before we are, so I can stop over and get some food. donuts in the morning.
I will eat a lot of business just for the construction.
Yeah, exactly. Right, so we're crossing our fingers, but so
Great.
yeah, thank you.
Thanks. Any other discussion or question for council? Or any public comment? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve resolution as presented?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, motion by Cool, seconded by Reba. Any further discussion? Lindsay, would you call the roll?
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Reba,
Yes.
Cool,
Yes.
Lester.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Item 6M is reconsideration of action on the second reading of an ordinance amending the official zoning map of the city of Norwalk, Iowa by amending parcel J in the Echo Valley Plan Unit Development to permit automotive services as an approved use. So I'm going to take a stab at this, and then I'm going to turn it over to Jim for a little bit. So we don't have many reconsiderations of a vote, but we do have one this meeting. Reconsideration can be done when one of the people who voted against an item asked for the reconsideration. In this case, Councilmember Lester has asked for reconsideration of this item. Correct. Did I get all that right?
I think you got it all right, yep.
Okay, good deal. Do we need to have a vote on the reconsideration?
Yes, basically, the requirements are, and this is out of Robert's Rules of Order, is that that one of the individuals who was on the successful side, but in this case was the no side, has to make the motion. Any council member can second that and takes then a majority of the council to pass the reconsideration. It was forced to be delayed to this meeting. Councilmember Lester actually addressed it in the last meeting, but I wanted time to be able to research it, so we delayed the question till this meeting. And basically what this would do, if it were successful, I would take it back to immediately prior to that second reading. And then the council would have to consider what to do at that point in time. Whether they want to table it till the next meeting when we have a full council, or whether
Okay,
want to vote on it again.
So it could be motioned by David and tabled. And we would vote on the tabling, right?
yes.
First of all, you would motion to reconsider, then there would be vote on that, and that would bring it back. And at that point in time, next motion would be to table it, if that's what the council was inclined to want to do.
Okay,
And then I would table it till future date. And then there would still be readings left on it.
So David, would you like to make the motion to reconsider?
I would like to make the motion to reconsider the second reading, blah, blah, blah.
All right,
Got all that?
I would second that.
okay, so got a motion by Lester, second by Cool. Lindsay, would you call a roll?
Councilmember Reba,
No.
Cool,
Yes.
Lester,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
All right, motion carried. So I
And I will
believe,
make the
go ahead.
motion to table it to the next meeting when we have all of our council members available.
Sounds good. So I got a motion to table.
I'll second it.
Motion by Lester, seconded by Cool. Lindsay, would you call roll?
Councilmember Lester,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Reba,
No.
Cool.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. That's so we're tabled till next meeting. All right. Item 6N is first reading of an ordinance providing for the division of taxes levied on taxable property in the Norwalk urban renewal area pursuant to section 403.19 of the Code of Iowa's for Sportsplex. So this ordinance will establish a new urban renewal area at the sports campus. So Holly, I'm going to let you explain this one.
Sure, this is amending our current urban renewal area plan. And this is so that we can create a separate TIF district for the parcels owned by Sportsplex in Heartland. And we have to do this every time a new parcel is created if we want to generate and capture the new increment from those parcels. So it's a procedure we have to do every single time. This one is just happening right now because we're coming up to some dates that will kick into gear the minimum assessment agreement and parts of their dates that we'll have to start with that TIF increment timing. And Jean may have some additional information on that too.
I can just add that those three properties, the turf pods, the Sportsplex building and outlet, we have a development agreement with them for a minimum assessment of $8 million. So by capturing this increment, it will fulfill that obligation that we have regarding that development agreement.
Okay. What questions council have? Comments? For any public comment? Can I get them, huh?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Reva, seconded by Cool. Any further discussion? Lindsay, would you call roll?
Councilmember Cool,
Yes.
Lester,
No.
Baker,
Yes.
Reva.
Yes.
All right. Motion carries. Item 6O. It's a second reading of an ordinance amending the zoning ordinance of the city of Norwalk, Iowa by amending the sign regulations related to banner signage installation in the public right of way. So we first heard about this item in our last meeting. Ordinance allows banner signage in public right of way. Luke, anything else?
Nothing to add.
Any discussion or comments from council or any public comment? I get a motion to approve second reading.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Cool, seconded by Reva. Any further discussion? Lindsay, would you call a roll?
Councilmember Lester,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Reva,
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Item 6P. It's a second reading of an ordinance amending the zoning ordinance of the city of Norwalk, Iowa by amending the sign regulations related to banner signage on recreational property. So we heard about this item at our last meeting as well. Ordinance changes our banner sign regulations on recreational property. Luke, anything else to add on this?
Nothing to add either.
Any discussion or comments from council or public comment?
Motion.
Second.
Ooh, motion by Baker, seconded by Cool.
Now.
Wow, I don't know what to do now. Any further discussion? Lindsay, would you call the roll?
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Reva,
Yes.
Cool,
Yeah.
Lester.
No.
All right, motion carries. Item 6Q. It's a final reading of an ordinance amending the zoning ordinance of the city of Norwalk, Iowa related to chapter 175A.36, privately owned improvements serving more than one property owner. So this item allows privately owned improvements such as driveways to parking lots when that improvement serves more than one property owner. Luke, anything else to add?
Nothing new.
Any questions or comments, discussion from council or any public comment?
This is what gives us our ability to make sure they're maintained.
Yes.
Yes. Correct. Can I get a motion to approve? Both reading?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, motion by Cool, seconded by Reva. Any further discussion? Lindsay, would you call roll?
Councilmember Reva,
Yes.
Cool,
Yeah.
Lester,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Item 6R. It's the final reading of an ordinance amending sections 1504 and 1706 of the Norwalk City Code addressing compensation for the mayor and city council. Staff at their own discretion conducted a salary study for mayor and council pay similar to the study we conducted for staff. Carrie, you got anything else to add?
I do not.
All right, any discussion or comments from council? Stephanie, do you want to bring up your thought about what we read in the paper about Des Moines City Council in regards to attendance? You want to put anything or?
I was gonna suggest that it be addressed at a later date, but I can bring it up now.
You want to do that at the next item at the,
Yes.
okay, let's do that. All right, any other discussion, council, or comments, questions, any public comment? I get a motion to approve the final reading.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, motion by Cool, seconded by Reva. Lindsay, would you call the roll?
Councilmember Cool,
Yeah.
Lester,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Reva.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Item 7, future agenda items. So the purpose for this item is for council to give direction to staff by way of motion to have items placed on future agendas, not for discussion of the merits of the subject matter. It's just to get things on the agenda so that we can discuss the merits of the matter. Okay, think?
Yes, I do.
All right. What would you like to?
In light of the recent increase, which still pays about 5 cents an hour. I would suggest that we follow what the city of Des Moines has been considering. I'm not sure if they passed it, that there be an attendance requirement that goes along with that. So if a council member misses X% of the meetings, I think Des Moines is considering 10%. I don't know if that's the right number. That a council person's salary, and I guess mayor's salary, is reduced accordingly.
Yeah.
I would just like to discuss that at a future.
Okay, so there's a motion to put that on. Anybody want to second that?
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay.
I think that's an issue that sometimes we see for their volunteer committees too, but I don't know how you address that.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so I got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same. Okay, so let's put that on. Do you mind if we put that on after Des Moines is done with theirs so that we have like some sample, a sample ordinance?
We always like to follow how Des Moines does.
Well, our biggest suburb, Baker.
Yeah, Des Moines is our biggest suburb.
Can I ask a question about that really quick, just a clarifying question for the
Yeah.
ordinance? Jim, will that go in the mayor and council wages ordinance?
No, that'll be separate. I think it can be a separate orders. I'm also, along with that discussion, we might want to consider what Councilman Cool mentioned as far as attendance requirements for some of our other appointed boards. I believe one of the boards, I can't remember if it's planning, zoning, or park and rec, actually in their ordinance has attendance requirements. Is it the library that?
P and Z does as well.
Easy does, yeah, but I don't think all of them do. I think that's worth looking at also. It's just,
So that'll be in a different code section than,
they probably will. yeah.
okay, because we can't vote in November and December on anything pertaining to their wages, was my understanding of an
Yeah.
election year.
Yeah.
So, okay.
And there aren't any problems with that. This is a good time to have the discussion. Stephanie, I
Yeah.
think you even brought that up earlier, that it just because Des Moines has been talking about it, it's top of mind.
Right.
That Des Moines that was like over the top. I mean, what happened there? 2/3 of the meetings were missed with no vote, no
Right.
replies, no nothing.
All right, so we need to move on. Any other future agenda items? Anybody want to bring up? Hearing none, we'll move on. Item 8, council inquiry staff updates. Jim?
Nope.
Start with you, Stephanie.
No.
David?
Not tonight.
Ed?
No, sir.
Luke?
Oh, geez.
You got
I
it.
can't not say something. 30 seconds or less, right? 17 building permits for houses in September. We're currently reviewing 7 commercial permits. So
Good.
lots of stuff going on commercial wise, and that doesn't include either of the projects we approved tonight. So
Nice.
yep, lots of stuff going on. Nuisances are pretty standard like normal.
Cool. Gary?
Nothing tonight.
Tony?
Nothing.
Wayne?
We had a meeting today with MetroNet. They're a company looking at providing fiber to the community. They're looking to start putting conduit in the ground, hopefully in the next few weeks. The downside is they're not ready to have fiber put in the conduit yet. They got to get their feed to town, which will happen. They'll probably start activations not until next year, but they're gonna get some of the groundwork done this fall. The Beardsley project, they're gonna do they're trimming today. They're gonna get steel down tomorrow and pave Beardsley westbound on Monday, the current schedule. That's it. Thank you.
All right, Lieutenant.
Do you have a,
Oh,
I'm sorry,
sorry,
wait,
go ahead.
do you have a map? Did MetroNet tell you like when they're gonna do what neighborhoods and when they expect them to be?
We asked for a map for that and they said they used to publish that and they said their competitors were using that map to try to get ahead of them. So they said they recommend you go to their website and put in your address and that'll tell you whether it's in place, planned, or not planned.
Great, thank you.
Okay, I want them in my neighborhood soon. But so does everybody else. Lieutenant? Anything? All right. Major.
Thank you, sir. Chief had this long list, but I'm gonna shrink it down.
Okay.
All right. So he directed staff sergeants to task the officers to certain neighborhoods. So there's more lights in the neighborhood for traffic enforcement. We identified 4 spots, we're gonna be working hard the next 2 weeks. They got to spend a minimum of 15 to 30 minutes in the neighborhood. That all depends on call volume, obviously. It's being pretty successful right now. We had a data logger, which we could put in place beforehand if we get a complaint that would say, hey, the speeds are from, we got a speeding problem, or we don't have a speeding problem. It's just a perception thing. But the data logger, we've been fighting with it all summer. We got that replaced finally. It's in the neighborhood right now. I don't want to say that because people will try to go fly by it and raise the speed, right? Generally, people don't know what's there, so you get a really accurate reading of what the speeds are, and it helps us identify what's the average speed, time of day, day of week, so then we can add more resources into it at that time. So the end goal is not tickets. The end goal is to change behaviors. So if they're driving down and think, oh, they were sitting here yesterday, I better pay attention. They slow down and they stop at the stop signs, right? At the end of the day, that's what we want to do, is get them to comply. So we are actively addressing that. We'll hit these two, we'll keep moving. We kind of have an idea where the complaints come in. The council obviously hears them too. So if you have any ideas of where you want us to tackle next, we can surely do that. So if you saw the Facebook page, we had one of our officers is fighting cancer right now. We have a commemorative pack for that to help him raise funds to battle that. If you're interested, but address you to the Facebook page. I tried to find the patch you can bring with me, but I can't find it. And if you haven't heard also the news, we have a celebrity coming Monday, October 16th. Jason Momoa is here, going to be coming to Fairway to promote his vodka. We will be reaching out to his representatives and pointing out traffic control. We've worked with Fairway, so we're aware of maybe the numbers that it could bring. So we're just trying to get a feel what that's gonna be. So exciting news, exciting time for the city of Norwalk. So that's it.
Cool. Gene Kelly.
Just to let you know, I put the budget calendar together today. It's gonna look a little bit different this next year due to House File 718. The deadlines move back a month. Generally, it's March 31st, it's April 30th. So we probably won't start doing any real meetings till after the first of the year. And tentatively looking at February 1st, 8th, and 15th for our work sessions. In the recent past, we've only needed 2. We'll just kind of see how it goes, but just kind of keep those dates in mind. I'll get the calendar out to you in the next week or so. That's all I have.
Great. Holly.
Yes, if Casey and Ryan are still in the audience, congratulations to you both for your site plans getting through. I know it's a big step. And Casey told us that Quick Start doesn't generally do a big press release, so we are honoring that. Unfortunately, the story leaked in a million different directions way before. It was one of the few that we were unable to get the reins on that one. I guess people are just so excited about Quick Start coming, but we did just put out a city promo right as council approved site plan. So you will see that out. And like Kirk just mentioned, Jason Momoa is coming in on the 16th. So he'll be there at Fairway from 9 to 10:30 in the morning. And yes, it's going to be an absolute madhouse. But we are working with his people and his family on some things with that. So it's pretty exciting. And then the president of Kosovo will be here on Wednesday, the 25th of this month from 2:30 to 4. And we're still kind of working through the agenda with that, but we will be doing a mayor proclamation, maybe a key to the city. We'll do Norwalk of Fame dedication. So just lots of fun stuff, lots of media will be there. And Ty will be getting that out here pretty quickly. And the Amazon store announcement also got leaked. Again, when I say leaked, it means not from us. Okay, so everybody knows someone else grabbed those stories and ran with them. But we will be doing an official one with Heartland and them here soon. And then I did talk to DeNovo today, and the east parking lot, so the one that's dedicated kind of specifically to the Sportsplex building, is also, it should be finished today or tomorrow. And he said that it could be opened up to the public as soon as they have the striping in there, just during daytime hours because the lights aren't up yet, but that gives us a lot more parking. So we're abundant in parking here very shortly. Pretty exciting. And then lastly, I just wanted to give a shout out to DeNovo and Sportsplex and Heartland and Diligent for really just coming to the table in this last week and getting everything together with redirecting traffic and closing temporary lots and closing lots that people were parking on that they shouldn't have been parking on. They really scrambled and came to the rescue, and they spent a lot of money to get a bunch of signs made and block everything off. And then DeNovo just ordered 18 more signs because people were busting through barriers and cutting through temporary fencing to park where they wanted to park. So they're doing more of that this weekend, which is pretty cool that everybody came together to try to get that done as quickly as they could. So I think that's it.
All right, thank you.
Oh, you know, Mayor, I've got a granddaughter that just loves Jason Momoa.
Yeah. Might have to bring her up.
Yeah, I might have to see if I can find an autograph or something.
There you go. Gene Strable.
Yes, just a quick report that we hired 2 part-time circulation assistants to fill a couple of open spaces. So we are welcoming Reese Rand and Pam Thompson, and they're doing great in their training. That's it.
Awesome. Dakota.
Nothing tonight.
Lindsay.
Nothing.
Brian.
Nothing.
Luke.
I got a few quick items. The first thing I want to say thank you to, we've got a number of staff here tonight, Dakota, Kirk, Jeremy, all filling in for the respective department heads. We always say family is first. So oftentimes we have department heads that have to be gone for some reason. It's neat to see that kind of those second in command step up and help out where they can. So much appreciated. We're planning that meet and greet on October 19th. It's a chance for some of the candidates coming in, and primarily the intention is for them to have a chance to talk to our department heads, learn a little bit about what they do, ask some questions if they've got anything they're curious about. And then right after that, we're doing a tour at the field house, of which all people are welcome. If you have your own hard hat, bring it along. If you don't, DeNovo will have some for us. Next week, I'm attending a National Park and Rec Conference. It seemed like this would be a good thing for me to attend with the amount of amenity focused things that the city is trying to accomplish in our park system. So I thought that'd be a good one for me to go to. Incidentally, yesterday I was at an Iowa Manufacturers Conference. Again, a little bit out of my wheelhouse, but it was good to go as we're trying to push our next certified site. And what was really neat to me in one of the sessions, there were several companies that was intended to gain more information from the audience. And a couple of members talked about how labor is one of their biggest, most #1 issues, trying to find that labor force to come in. And they explained that the areas that they're at within the state, one of their biggest challenges is they can offer a lot of money, but because their community lacks the amenities to draw them to their community, they're challenged. So I didn't hear anything about property taxes. I'm not saying that's not important, but it was interesting that they specifically brought up that those amenities to just bring people to your community was a factor.
Interesting.
That's all I have.
All right, thanks. I just have a couple things. Community chat's going to be in here October 14th, 9 to 10:30. That's a Saturday morning. Come on in. It's chat. Holly, are you planning on writing that proclamation?
Yes, sir.
All right, good deal. And I will say, I was in here on a Wednesday night. I decided to drop by the sports campus. I went into the Amazon store and bought some pop. It's kind of it's different to give them your credit card beforehand. They a little green check mark when you go in and just pull stuff out, and they charge you for it on the way out. It's interesting. So that's all I had. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Cool, seconded by Reva. All those in favor say aye.
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 Hi.
All those favor, all those opposed, same. Whew. All right, we're adjourned at 7:08 PM.